Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a 15-minute beginner Pilates workout. And just because it's beginner doesn't mean it's going to be easy, it just means that the moves are simpler so that if you're just starting out with Pilates, this is a great way to get familiar with some of the exercises or just to go back to basics if you're more experienced. We have a series of exercises today that we will perform for either 30 seconds or a minute with some stretches dispersed throughout to make sure we keep the muscles nice and warm. Let's get into it. Alright, bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart with the toes slightly turned out, engaging the core and the glutes. We're starting with squats. So squat down and straighten, raising the arms to come in line with the ears as we squat down and lowering them back to our sides as we stand up. During this move, the core is super engaged the entire time and the glutes are squeezing on the way up, pressing through your heels to really get that engagement up the back of the leg. Inhale down, exhale up for 2. For 1, hold in that squat, just give me tiny pulses here. You're lifting the hips an inch and lowering them back down. Core is nice and tight here. If you feel your upper body start to arch or cave down, come up a little bit out of the knees to make sure that you keep a flat back here. I know it burns, you're almost there. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up and shake it out. Next, we're coming into a lunge, so turn to the left and step your right foot back. Make sure toes, knees, hips, and shoulders are all facing forward. Arms come up above the head and bend down into the knees and straighten. The most important thing here is that your front knee stays over your ankle as you bend to protect your knee joint. Arms can be up above the head here. If they are, make sure your shoulders are pressing down. If it's more comfortable for you, feel free to just rest them on your hips. Inhaling as you lower, exhaling as you press up, pressing through that front heel to engage the left glute. For 3, 2, you guessed it, we're holding in our lunge. Give me tiny pulses. As you can see, I brought my hands down to my hips. I just found that a little bit more comfortable. It's up to you whether they're on your hips or above your head. What's most important is that you are pulsing those legs. Again, really rooting through that front heel, getting that engagement through the left glute, really feeling that working. You're just here for 3, 2, 1, and step the legs together. Woo! Alright, on to the other side. Right foot in front, left foot steps back. Toes, knees, hips, and shoulders are all facing forward. Arms come up above the head. Same exact thing. Bend into the knees and straight. Inhaling as you bend, exhaling as you straighten. Front knee is staying directly over the ankle when you bend to protect that knee joint. And if you see me keep looking over my shoulder, just know that I'm looking at the timer and I had it kind of ill-placed behind me. So you stay looking straight forward. And you're just here for 3, 2, 1, and we hold down in that lunge. Hands can come to the hips or stay above the head and pulse down an inch and up an inch. Core and glutes are tight. Make sure there's not an unnatural arch through your back. If there is, just tuck your hips slightly forward till you feel those glutes engage. Legs are on fire right now, rooting through that front heel to really work that right glute this time. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and step the feet together. Alright, step the feet out wide with the toes facing forward and the core engaged. Hands come to prayer. We're coming into side lunges here. So bend into your right leg and straighten, into your left and straighten. And once again, make sure that as you bend to each side, your knee is staying straight over your ankle and not coming far forward. You're inhaling as you bend, exhaling as you straighten. Really push up through the outside of your foot of that bent leg to feel the engagement up the side of your leg, especially into your side glute. You're here for a minute, so really focus on form, going slower than you maybe think you need to make sure that you're pushing through, feeling the engagement through all of those muscles that are working here. And when you bend into your lunge, make sure that your chest isn't falling, it's staying nice and proud with a flat back, not arching, not caving forward, just a super neutral spine. Just here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up straight. Walk the feet into hip distance. Inhale, arms come up above the head. Exhale, tuck the chin and fall forward into a forward fold. Just hanging out here. Option to pedal the legs, alternating lifting the heels to feel a deeper stretch up the back of the leg. And then just press the heels into the floor and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Alright, let's give the legs a break and work the arms. So bring the feet hip distance, engage the core and the glutes, and bring your arms straight out to the sides. We're just pulsing them out right here, up 2 inches and down 2 inches. Moving pretty quickly here, inhaling for 4 pulses, exhaling for 4 pulses. We're here for a minute, so make sure that the shoulders are staying away from the ears, you're keeping a slight bend through the elbow to protect the joint, and you're sending energy down through your fingers, engaging through the entire arm. You're halfway through these pulses, do a quick form check that your core and your glutes are still nice and engaged. There's a slight bend through both your knees and your elbows, shoulders are away from the ears, and you are breathing throughout this exercise. Shoulders are feeling fired up at this point, but we are almost finished with this move. You're only here for 5, 4, 3, 2, don't drop the arms, bring the hands into fists and circle them forward. Tiny little circles, about 2 inches around. We're going forward for 30 seconds and then we'll switch directions and circle backwards for 30 seconds. Switching directions in 3, 2, 1, circle back. Tiny circles back. Core and the glutes are tight. You have a nice neutral spine here. Make sure you're not sticking your booty out or tucking your pelvis under. After this move, we're going to stretch and head down to the mat for the rest of class, so stay with it here. I know those shoulders are burning, but you are almost finished. Just for 3, 2, 1, slowly float the arms down. Clasp your hands behind your back, press your palms together, roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and feel that stretch across the chest and the front of the arms. This should feel awesome. Release that, and as promised, we're heading down to the mat, so come down onto the right side of your body. Bending your bottom leg, straightening the top out long. Make sure your outer thigh is facing up towards the ceiling and your foot is flexed. So swing the toes forward so they're pointing straight out in front of you. And we're lifting the leg and lowering. Lifting and lowering. Make sure your core is still engaged here. You should feel a little pocket of air under your side abs. Exhaling as you lift the leg, inhaling as you lower. This move is super slow and controlled, really getting into working that side glute. You're almost there, just 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg lifted, point the toe, and give me tiny pulses up. So up 2 inches and down 2 inches. Make sure you're reaching away from your body with your toes, activating all up the front of the leg, engaging those muscles. We're here for 10. Side glute is burning, but you are going to get through it. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab your foot in your hand. Quick stretch for the quad and the hip flexors. All right, sit up, and we got to do it all on the other side. So come down onto your left side this time. Bottom leg is bent, top leg straight. foot is once again flexed, so swing the toes forward so the bottom of the foot is flat, and we're lifting and lowering that top leg once again. So lift it up and down, exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you lower, feeling that tiny pocket of air under the side abs that lets you know that your core is nice and engaged. You're almost there, and then we have those pulses in 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg lifted, point through your foot, and lift and lower that leg, giving me tiny pulses here. Up 2 inches, down 2 inches. Make sure that your outer thigh is facing up towards the ceiling, so you're working your outer glute instead of your quad. For 3, 2, 1, and grab your ankle in your hand, stretching out your quad and your hip flexor. Awesome job. Sit up here and stretch your legs out in front of you, flexing the toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift up tall, and exhale, fall forward over the legs, grabbing onto either the shins, the feet, or reaching past your feet if you're able. Take a deep breath or two in this position, calming down your body before we head into our ab sequence. So walk your hands up your legs and let's start working those abs. Bring your feet hip distance, scoot towards the front of your mat. Inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and slowly roll down onto the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. We're starting by bringing our legs into a tabletop position where the knees are directly above the hips. Give me a slight tip under with that pelvis, pressing the lower back into the ground. Hands are coming behind the head with the elbows wide, not pulling on the neck, just offering some support. And we're gonna lift the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground and lay them back down. Exhaling as you crunch up, inhaling as you lower down. Keeping the legs super stable here, working the entire core, especially those upper abs with these crunches. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Lay the head, neck, and shoulders down, and we're going to alternate tapping the toes. Option to bring your hands slightly under your hips, and we're going to tap those toes. So tap the left foot down and up, right foot down and up. What's important here is that your legs are staying in the same exact shape, so you're not just bending at the knee and tapping your toe directly down towards the floor. It's more of a lowering motion, reaching your toes towards the floor. But only lower them so far that you can keep your lower back pressing into the ground. That's why I offer the option to bring the hands under the hips to make it a little bit easier to keep that low back imprint. You're here for 1 more second. Awesome. Hug the knees in towards the chest, circling out the legs and the hips if that feels good. We are on to our final move of class, coming into some simple plank series. So reach the arms and legs in opposite directions. Inhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale, fall forward over the legs, and let's get ready for those planks. So swing around, we're starting with a straight armed plank. So arms are straight down from the shoulders and feet are stepping back, so there's a straight line from the top of your head to your heels. Step those feet back and we're holding this plank for 30 seconds. Core and glutes are engaged, belly button is drawing up towards the spine, pressing into the palms of your hands to push yourself away from the ground. Keep your gaze in front of you so that your neck stays nice and neutral and we're not having any strain here. We're holding this plank for 10 more seconds. We're going to have a quick rest and then we're coming into a forearm plank for 30 seconds. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees, sit back into a quick child's pose, taking a couple deep breaths here. Come back up. We're coming into our forearm plank. So place the forearms shoulder width distance on the mat, step the feet back, and we're holding this for 30 seconds. Once again, core is tight, glutes are tight, belly button drawing up towards the spine. and pressing up through the forearms this time, feeling that all the way up through the shoulders, working the entire body here, especially the core. This is your final move of class, so give it everything you've got, breathing naturally here, just focus on that good form and staying up in your plank for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, drop the knees, child's pose, sit the hips back, arms go long down the mat. Option to rotate the palms up towards the ceiling to get a little bit more relief through the shoulders. Slowly make your way onto all fours in a tabletop position. Inhale, lower your stomach to the floor, heart comes through your shoulders, and exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and arch your back. Inhale, stomach to the floor, heart through your shoulders, and exhale, chin to chest, arch your back. This should feel great on the spine and the core. Tuck the toes under, send your hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Option here to pedal out the legs if you want a deeper stretch into the hamstrings, just alternating raising the heels. And reach both heels into the ground, feeling that stretch up the back of the legs, taking a couple deep breaths here. Slight bend in the knees and walk your hands back towards your legs, hanging out in this forward fold, keeping that bend through the knees. Grab onto opposite shoulder, creating a box around your head, and sway slightly side to side to feel some release through your low back. Come back through center, drop the arms. My favorite, shake your head yes and no, letting all of the weight and tension in your neck just release and your head falls towards the ground. Grab onto the back of your legs and pull your upper body in, giving yourself a hug for all of the great work you just did. And release your arms. Inhale, slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms come up above the head, and exhale through heart center.
All right, everyone, that is it for class today. Thank you for joining me for this 10-minute beginner Pilates workout. If you liked this style of workout, feel free to like and leave a comment to let me know, and I'll be sure to make more of them. Thanks, everyone.